Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make is a chocolate cake. But the chocolate cake is going to be a half a sheet cake. Many of you write to me that you have enjoyed my recipe videos on larger cakes, meaning the half sheet. I do have a traditional chocolate half sheet already on my channel, so if you don't like this recipe, please do check it out. But I do have different choices of batters in the larger half sheet cake, so please take a look at that. What I've done already is I've started to actually heat my butter. Okay, this recipe is a little bit involved, but it's so well worth the time and the effort. It really is. So I'm going to start giving you the ingredients in this, okay? And what I have in here is 2 cups of butter that I've melted, and I'm bringing it to almost a, it's not really boiling, but it's hot. What else I'm going to be putting in is oil. I'm going to put 1 cup of oil in. Now please use whatever type of oil that you want, that you think is best or that you like. So 1 cup of oil in that butter, okay? What we're going to also need is unsweetened baking cocoa, and we're going to be using 1 cup of that, and we're going to put that also in this mixture. That was 1 cup, okay? And then we're going to continue and stir it till it comes to a boil. Now I have my little unit here up higher due to the video, but you don't want to have it too high, maybe about medium, okay? But you do want it to come to a boil. Now it doesn't have to be a rolling boil, but just that you see the bubbles and that you know that, that it's boiling. Okay, and then do stay with it and keep stirring because you don't want to burn the chocolate mixture. Okay, so I'm going to try to do both without that happening. Okay, and bringing this together. Okay, so I'm going to just turn it down just a little bit to low while I put my spoon down. Okay, okay. Now I'm also going to add water to this, okay? So you're going to be needing 2 cups of water, okay? So I'm going to also put this in just a second or two. I'm really trying to watch this. Okay, now the 2 cups of water are going in, all right? And it looks like it's getting ready to boil. So I just want to stay with it just a little bit longer here. Okay, what you're going to do though is you're going to start putting your dry ingredients, not into this, but into your mixer. Now the stand mixer is probably the best for you to be able to handle a recipe this size, but that's going to be up to you as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to put 4 cups of all-purpose flour into your mixing bowl. That was 4 cups of all-purpose, okay? Now, you're also going to be putting in granulated sugar, and you're going to need 4 cups of granulated sugar to your flour. So 4, 4 for the flour, 4 for the granulated sugar, and then just stir it, okay? Just stir it together a little bit. All right, now I'm just waiting for this to come to a boil. All right, now what else you're going to be needing, of course, is salt, okay? So we're going to wait on that just for a second or two. Okay, so in the salt, you're going to be needing 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you're also going to be needing 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and you're also going to be using buttermilk, and you'll need 1 cup of milk, okay? And again, I'm just waiting for this to boil a little bit. Now you're also going to need 4 eggs that are at room temperature, Okay, and the last ingredient that you're going to need is 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So again, we're just waiting for this to come to a boil. And just waiting on that. I do have it on high because I want to move it along to the video for you to be able to really see this. Now, when it starts to boil, it will start to thicken. It's not going to get really thick. So if it's too, if it looks watery to you, don't worry. You didn't mess up. You're okay. But it will thicken a little bit. Okay, so that's really why you're waiting for it to boil. Okay. All right. Now let's see. The next thing, I just got to look here because I lost my train of thought here. What we're going to do is we're going to take this once it becomes to a boil, and then we're going to add this cocoa mixture, chocolate mixture, to this, and then we'll go on to the next ingredients. Okay. Also, I just realized I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to put that salt in my dry ingredients and just stir that salt in there. Okay. All right. Now, like I said, this particular recipe takes a little bit of time, but it's really well worth it. Now, also, I won't be having the ingredients listed on the bottom of the video. Unfortunately, so many people are taking my videos to other platforms and whatever, and I only put my videos on YouTube, and it's just not worth the time anymore. So I hope that I went through the instructions clearly, that you can get all the ingredients to make this, I think, awesome cake. Also too, I always tell people, if you try this recipe and you like it, well, leave a comment, because I really like to hear from you. But again, if you're not watching me on YouTube, I'm not getting your comments. I'm not getting your questions. And it's really frustrating because I want to be able to answer you, whatever it might be. And so please, I hope that you continue to watch me solely on YouTube. And I'm kind of mentioning all of this as I do in all my videos, but I'm also, again, waiting for this mixture to boil, and it's getting extremely close. So I don't want to bore you with more of that. Okay, so we're waiting on that. Now, what we're going to do, because it's getting so close to where we need it to be, I'm going to take that soda that we talked about, that baking soda that we have, and I'm going to put that in the milk, and then I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir. Okay. All right. And our mixture is almost there. And now on the 4 eggs, you don't have to do this, but if you want, just beat them a little bit. They don't have to be perfectly beaten, but just I just find it comes together easier, and a little bit faster if you beat them. But if you don't want to, then feel free. Just put one at a time, though, when you do it. Now, we're going to be, of course, adding in just a few moments the eggs and the vanilla. But as we can see, a hot mixture would make scrambled eggs. So that's really what comes in with the milk and the baking soda that I believe helps this cake to rise. And it'll cool it down enough that we'll be able to put the eggs and the vanilla and then be able to pour it into our prepared pan. Now, on the half sheet, I went ahead and I heavily greased my pan and dusted it with flour. Now, that'll be up to you if you want to use, parchment paper or whatever that you prefer, but that's how I like to do mine. Okay, and now we are at a boil, thankfully. And I'm going to be slowly and carefully pouring this into the dry, just a little at a time. And you don't have to beat it on medium or high speed, just so it starts to come together. Okay, now we're at a nice boil, And I'll just show you the mixture. You know, it does look watery to you, but that's okay. It does actually thicken up a little bit, you know, so I'm going to be doing that. I just kind of want to carefully move this, if I can, a little here, because it is very, very hot surface. Okay, and we are at a nice boil, so I'm going to bring the pan around. Have a spatula handy, because of course you're going to need that. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to just shut this off. In fact, I'm going to give it an unplug. And you can see this is very, very hot. So we're going to just slowly start to bring this in with your dry. I don't know if you can see, it is hot, so do be careful not to burn yourself. I'm going to try to get the excess out of my pan here. Okay, and we'll set that aside. Alright, and then just beat it on low till you know it all comes together. You don't want to overbeat it, but you do want it blended well, okay? So I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit, move things along. And I'm going to move that hot plate out of the way so I don't burn myself. Now it is really coming together. Then it's really looking like a batter, and you know, it has its thickness. And it has its richness to it. It's just glossy, just beautiful, glossy chocolate. In fact, I'm going to try to show you because I just think it is so pretty how glossy and how the high shine of this chocolate batter is. I really enjoy making this cake. It's, like I said, it's a bit of work. But when people try it and enjoy it and you get compliments on it, there's nothing better than that. Okay, so we have that nice thick mixture as I showed you, or at least I hope that you can see. You know, it's still a liquid, don't get me wrong, but it's just beautiful. Okay, now we're going to be putting in that milk, okay, and the baking soda. So I want to make sure that I get that all in there. Okay. And this is going to, of course, cool it down, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago. So I'm going to just wait till it all kind of blends and cools down, because I don't want to put these eggs in and you know, make scrambled eggs. So I'm going to raise my speed a little bit here. Okay, and I'm going to bring my mixer just a little bit closer to me and the camera. Okay, and now I'm going to just start slowly pouring in those eggs. Remember, you don't have to beat them if you don't want to, but just put them in one at a time. Okay, once you do that, then in goes the vanilla. And then just stay with it till it's nicely combined. You don't want to overbeat it, but you want to make sure everything is mixed and incorporated, okay? I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit. Okay, and let's pull out the paddle here, take some excess off, and we'll set that aside. And I'm going to give it still a good stirring to make sure that I got everything on the bottom, that nothing's sticking. And by now the mixture has cooled down. It has a little bit of warmth to it, but I mean it's not hot or anything. My eggs, you know, didn't cook in there to turn to scrambled eggs, okay? And it's, you know, quite heavy to lift here because this is a lot of liquid. And just start pouring it in as evenly as you can get it. I want to get all that out of there. Now, you're going to bake this a little bit at a lower temperature. Bake it at 325. You don't want this cake to dry out, and you don't want it to cook too quickly. I bake it at 325, and it could take you anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes, really. It really depends. I've baked this cake at someone else's oven, and it really did. It came up in 55 minutes. I baked it at myself, and it's come up in 45 minutes. So, you know, our oven's set up so differently. So, you know, like I said, just start checking on it to check because of oven temperatures. And then I just lightly tap the pan a little bit before I put it in that preheated oven at 325, okay? So I'm going to just quickly rinse my hands here because I want to show you what this cake will look like. Now, it's going to be unfrosted. You're going to decide whatever type of frosting or icing that you want to put on it. And I do have several on my channel. I have recipes for frostings and icings that you cook, and some that are very easy that require no cooking at all. So if you're looking for a nice frosting for this, whether it be chocolate or vanilla, please check out my other videos. Well, this is how it bakes up. It comes out a beautiful, rich chocolate. I'm not going to say looking like dark chocolate, but it is a medium chocolate color. It bakes up extremely light and very delicate. I really think you'd like this recipe if you give it a go, especially if you need a large cake for whatever occasion it might be. So if you do try this recipe and you like it, well, again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, please leave a comment. But also remember to watch me on YouTube so I can get those comments and get back to you. I also want to thank you for always watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you'd like to ring the bell or give me a like, or if you are so inclined, even subscribing to my channel, boy, that would be fantastic. So again, many thanks for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And you know what? I'll see you soon.